My name is Vicki Ellis, and I am the Executive Director of Heritage Ranch Christian Children's Home. Today I want to talk to you about one of Erikson's psychosocial stages of development, and that is generativity versus stagnation. This is the stage between the 40s and 60s, and often people refer to that as middle adulthood. And so it can extend into about your mid-60s. Okay, so generativity involves finding your life's work and contributing to the development of others through activities such as volunteering, mentoring, and raising children. During this stage, middle-aged adults begin contributing to the next generation, often through childbirth and caring for others, and they also engage in meaningful and productive work, which contributes positively to society. Those who do not master this task may experience stagnation and feel as though they are not leaving a mark on the world in a meaningful way. They often have little connection with others and can often have little interest in productivity and self-improvement. Some of the characteristics of stagnation including being self-centered, failing to get involved with others, not taking an interest in productivity, not having an effort to improve self, and placing self over the concerns of others. The major events that typically contribute to this stage are marriage, work, and child rearing. They can occur at any point during the rather broad span of middle adulthood, and that just really depends on each person. It's at this point in life that some people might experience what is often referred to as a midlife crisis. People might reflect back on their accomplishments and consider their future trajectory and really feel regret. And in some cases, this might include regretting missed opportunities, such as pursuing schooling they wanted, pursuing a certain career, having children, getting married. In some cases, people use this opportunity or this crisis as an opportunity to make adjustments in their lives so that the next stage in their life will lead to greater fulfillment. It's really important to note that it is the way that people interpret these regrets that influence their well-being. Those who feel that they have made mistakes or wasted their time and have no time to make changes may be left feeling bitter. However, people who have positive relationships with others, good quality of health, and a sense of control over their lives will look at any regrets they have and address those, overcome those, and leave feeling satisfied and productive. Individuals who suffer from poor health, poor relationships, and don't take control over their fate are more likely to experience feelings of stagnation. Work can play a really major role during this part of our lives, and so it's no surprise that an individual's sense of pride and accomplishment in their work is often what leads to feelings of productivity. This time of adulthood really centers on reaching out and contributing to the next generation, and so this can occur through parenting, although not all people who have children necessarily become supportive and giving parents, and those who do not have children are still able to give to the next generation in meaningful ways. Self-knowledge and self-understanding are extremely critical during this stage of generativity versus stagnation. I can't speak for anyone else, but I remember when I was younger hearing people talk about a midlife crisis and talking about wanting to go like buy a new car or get a new job. And when I was in my 20s and 30s, I always thought it was kind of peculiar and I didn't relate to it. This year, I just personally turned 41, and interestingly enough, when I reflect now on this stage of development that Erikson's speaking about, I really relate to it in the sense that moving into my early 40s, I have experienced this shift in the last couple of years where I've all of a sudden really started to take stock of what the last 20 years looks like for me and really started to ask myself, what do I want to invest in for the next 20, 40, 60 years? I'm really optimistic that I'm going to live till 120, so I'm making big plans. I feel like I'm like less than halfway there. So that being said, I do actually feel a little bit like I almost had a kind of mini midlife crisis this last year or two when I started to ask myself, like, do I want to continue doing the job that I'm doing? Am I excited about the person that I am? Do I like the way that our life is trending? Am I happy about my parenting? And it's very interesting to start to go into kind of this exploration stage. For me, I feel good about the fact that I didn't look at it in a way at like saying, do I regret anything? I almost more have just looked at it as a way to say, hey, is this a template that I want to live with for this next phase? I learned a lot during my 20s. I learned a lot during my 30s and coming into my 40s. But now, after having raised 5 kids, 4 of which are still in the house, I have kids from 7 to 14, still living under my roof, but they're getting older. And so I've really started to explore, like, how many hours a week do I want to work? What do I want my life to look like as my kids are going into high school and college? And what is my relationship with my spouse going to look like once the kids are out of the house? I want to encourage you that it is really okay and healthy to explore these things during this period of time. If you start to feel frustrated or you start to feel like you're having that crisis, don't shy away from it. Don't feel bad. Embrace it and know that it is okay to take stock of your life and really consider what you want this phase of middle adulthood to look like. For me, all I can say is that I want to be as excited about the next 20 and 40 years as I have been about the last 20. I don't want to lose energy and excitement about where this stage of my life is going. I'm really looking forward to raising my teenagers, and then also looking forward to when they're out of the house and I can travel and do other things with my husband. So I would encourage you, if you are in a stage where you're dealing with regrets from your past, try to shift your perspective to looking at ways that you can change the way you view things and just think about what you can create in the future. Make sure that this is a time when you're focused on generativity and that you're not getting stagnant. There's too much exciting things that you can do. When I was 20, I felt like 40 was really old, and now that I'm 40 feels super young. So I hope that no matter where you are between this stage of 40 and 60, that you'll realize that you have a lot of life left to give, and that you're moving into a phase in your life where people are looking to you, and you're now a role model to so many your age and younger to you, and get excited about the fact that you have this unique opportunity to influence others.